Hello everyone, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Ultimate General Civil War with our Confederate Let's Play series. I think we're on to episode 36 or thereabouts, and we're in the middle of the Chancellorsville Campaign. We just fought the Battle of Blackwater Heights, which caused us to lose a bit more in the way of casualties than I had hoped, and we have two more minor battles to fight before the actual Battle of Chancellorsville, the grand battle of this campaign. Now, in order of these battles, the next fight is going to be first Franklin, and then the following fight will be Rio Hill. After that, we'll move on to the actual Battle of Chancellorsville. But I imagine both first Franklin and Rio Hill will be both this and the following episode. Now, if you remember from our last video, we used the 2nd Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia under the Butcher ourselves to attack the Union position at Blackwater Heights. We lost pretty heavy casualties, but we actually ended up with several brigades becoming 2-star brigades. We did unfortunately lose a couple of brigadier generals wounded, so we have a couple of brigades that are being commanded by lieutenant colonels, which are actually too small a rank, too low a rank to effectively command these soldiers. If you see here, actually this guy didn't get a penalty for efficiency, so apparently these units aren't getting efficiency penalties, interestingly enough. I'm guessing because I'm not sure why, but they're certainly not getting a bonus. And again, that's due to their rank being too small for the command. You can see here, in fact, Burnham's artillery battery needs a bigger commander, but apparently a 2,000-man brigade, a lieutenant colonel's just fine. So I guess I was mistaken there. In any event, we had all of these men were at one point brigadier generals, but now all of those generals are wounded. Fortunately, I don't think anyone was killed. If we go here, we'll see we've got several brigadier generals from Leroy Crocker, Milton Peckham, John Bell Hood, Thomas Stonewall Jackson, several major generals actually, all wounded, as well as a bunch of brigadiers. We will get those officers back to our forces, but not until after the Battle of Chancellorsville. So the 2nd Corps is going to have to soldier on with some subpar ranked officers. With that being said, the experience gained was worth any losses, I think, and we actually lost fewer men than we got back in the way of reinforcements. So we were able to completely fill out the 2nd Brigade, or 2nd Division, in the 1st Corps. If you remember, at the start of last video, the 3rd Division was fully built out, the 2nd Division was pretty well shattered, as well as this 1st Division here you can see is very well bled. We were able to equip the 2nd Division all with troops, and now we just have the 1st Division to build out, and we're obviously going to want to do that before the Grand Battle of Chancellorsville. With that being said, in this battle, I'm going to take the 2nd Corps into action once again. We're working on getting some of these other units up to strength, so you can see the 1st Corps. These troops are in great style, if you will. Mostly very experienced troops all around the halfway point, especially that 1st Division, which is very well experienced. The 1st Division here in the 2nd Corps has likewise gained quite a bit of experience, and the other units are also gaining some experience. But I'm looking at kind of rounding these troops out and making sure that they're all of very high quality. You can see we've actually got quite a bit of high-quality troops or moderate-quality troops around. The 3rd Corps could actually use a little bit more experience, but I'm trying to max out Lieutenant General Albert Johnston's rank here, so we're going to have him commanding the 2nd Corps, and we're going to go into battle once more with the 2nd Corps. So we're going to go ahead into 1st Franklin. We'll read about that here in just a minute as the screen loads here. So 1st Franklin, 10th of April, 1863. You've been ordered to advance northwards from Spring Hill, Tennessee, and lay siege to Franklin. General Granger's army has encamped near the town, and you must defeat him to secure the area. A skirmish at Brenton Wood near the north has forced General Granger to send his cavalry to deal with the threat. This is an opportunity for us to deal quickly with the Federals. Strike the Federal army before the Union cavalry returns to the camp. So you can see here we've got a camp, and we've got 3 corps to choose from. We can bring up to 12 brigades. We can't bring a full corps into action. So I think what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and actually, given there may be cavalry involved, let's use the 3rd Corps under General Lee. This is a fully functioning corps, a little bit less experience, but the cavalry brigade in this corps is at full strength, whereas the cavalry brigade in the 2nd Corps is still a little under strength after the last fight. So we'll go ahead and bring Lee into action here with the 3rd Corps. You can see here the Federals have deployed 1 full division 2 miles south of the town. There's not yet any sign of Yankee cavalry. We may now advance swiftly and strike the Union camp before their cavalry arrives. General, it's not going to be an easy task because although our army is stronger, they will be behind strong earthworks. Good luck. All right, so you can see here we've got our corps deploying into action. There's 2 infantry brigades and an artillery battery, which are not yet deployed. I'm actually going to go ahead and pull out... Battery do I want to pull out here? I'm going to keep the 20-pound parrots. They're rifles. They're good for long-range work. 10 pounds. Let's go ahead and pull the smoothbores, because we're going to be on the offensive. Unless I really roll those smoothbores right up to the front, I'm not sure how effective they will really be. Let's see here, Lane has smoothbores. Both Lane and Christ have smoothbores. So we'll take that moment here to go with 1 additional brigade under Atkinson's brigade here. So an additional 2,000 infantry I think will be worth more than any sort of additional artillery. You can see their earthworks are here behind this creek. There's a fenceway here, and they've kind of got a refused flank. It doesn't look like it will be easily flankable because they've got additional earthworks up on this rocky hill. I think our best bet's going to be swinging in on the right here, across these creeks, hopefully breaking through this fence line. Maybe it'll be a little bit weaker than the earthworks. Most of it's out in the open, though, so that'll be good. Looks like we can cross these streams at multiple points. I think really it's just a matter of deploying troops, forward, kind of going head first at them, which I don't like to do, but feels like what I end up doing half the time. And then my nickname, the Butcher, my moniker, the Butcher, remains in effect. Set up a double line here. I'm not gonna really feint. I'm just gonna go helter skelter right after him. This artillery over here, the 20-pounders and the parrots, maybe they'll accomplish something in bombarding the enemy. Commander Lee, our cavalry here will sweep out on the flank a bit. And our wagons will stay a bit in the rear. We'll go ahead and pause. Here, yep, you can cross the stream directly. Same for here. Again, there's a strong earthwork here that they're, setting their flank up. The problem is the other flank with this hill here. There's no real ability to get around them. So I think what we'll do is we'll send these guys forward here to this little town area, where we'll prepare for the assault. Get our artillery set up here as well in that town, and sweep our cavalry forward. Sure, Lee's forward with the troops, so if they run into any action, let's also go ahead and detach some skirmishers here, just so we've got kind of a advanced visual on the right flank to see what we're up against as our cavalry is getting into position. Troops are armed with lamats, so the cavalry is very good for melee combat, as you might recall, but not so much stand-up volley fire. That's fine, because I don't intend to use them for anything but perhaps charging the enemy, running them down. See here the Federals' artillery. All 6 casualties there. Wow. Turning your flank to enemy artillery is not always the best strategy. Go ahead and move up a bit. Consolidate here, not consolidate, we're going to kind of hone in on our target. See here, some of these Federal brigades are a little bit smaller, not full strength. It's artillery up here into the town, hopefully where they can see a little bit more. Skirmishers forward a bit. You can see enemy infantry here. I'm assuming there will be infantry here in this earthwork. I would presume there would also be some infantry in this fence line. I haven't seen any yet, but again, it's early morning, I suspect. Yep. So you can see here there's enemy infantry there as well. With 3 brigades to face Corbin. Morton will stack it behind. We'll try and engage on a 3-brigade front. We'll see how effective that will be. Don't really want to charge with my cavalry. My artillery's still moving up into position. Skirmishers are just kind of peppering them at the moment. Alright, so Stockton will try and protect Devon's flank. Shifting to just engage with Reed. I don't really want to make my main push there. It's more or less just an attempt to keep the Federals honest. Can they engage this artillery from here? Yikes. Alright. We can just try and break the line. See there, Devon's just getting shattered. I don't even know if he got to the line. Bring our artillery up a little bit more, get him a little bit closer. Devon's brigade was broken. Okay. Hate that they're charging into a brigade with artillery right in the rear. Again, some of these are just kind of silly tactics. Human wave tactics, if you will. Alright, so we broke through there. But Standard's not going to really be able to do much, I don't think. He's retreating as well. I'm going to send my cavalry forward here to hopefully charge this enemy battery. Deal with them a bit. I'm going to try and exploit this break so we can flank both Banning and Reed here. Get these troops into better cover in this house, and then get some of these troops beyond the enemy lines so that they're not shooting into the fortifications, rather shooting around them. God damn it, cavalry, why didn't you just go right for the guns? Alright, so they're in meleeing with the guns. Otis's brigade's going to come up behind. Oh, another battery over there. Jeez. Alright, so Banning's retreating as well. That battery of artillery is getting pushed off. Should be able to turn on Reed now. Have one brigade follow. Other brigades will push up on the objective. We'll try and deal with that enemy artillery here. Our own guns. Bring up the wagons. I don't know where... Alright, Reed's broken as well. There you go. Broken this enemy position. Cavalry I'm going to need to try and keep around our supply wagon, because if the enemy has cavalry that's going to be showing up, I don't exactly know what that means. I don't know if that means, you know, a huge force, or if it's just, if the battle even represents that. Okay. Skirmishers are being driven off. Some of these entrenchments are filled with enemy artillery, which I'd much rather, I suppose, deal with in a fort. Morton, you try and engage Banning in the open. Cavalry here. He's up. Have our cavalry help chase down some of these skirmishers. Warren's battery, or Warner's batteries being dealt with here. Matches come up here to help with Corburn. Pierce's battery is also driven back. You can see here we've broken through and we are on the Federal flank. Secured the objective. I think at relatively efficient cost. Charge that cavalry, see if we can volley in on Warner. Keep rolling up the line and doing as much damage as possible. Okay, Corp back. Cavalry can pursue up the hill, get some of our own troops up that hill. Now we can flank this Federal position here. They had some troops dug in here on their left, but they're somewhat outflanked now. We can just go around the fortifications, ideally. Put some of these guns up here in this position, bring Standard up. Move up on the flank. Man, that cavalry of ours is getting chewed up a bit. Banning's trying to go for Walker's flank. We've got Morton up here who hopefully can prevent that. Okay, why don't you guys get up there on the double? Okay, you guys are going to attack these guns. Alright, so our cavalry really didn't accomplish much this fight. They inflicted about 100 some odd casualties, lost almost double that. Alright, Corburn's retreating as well. 2 volleys from point blank. Keep pursuing that way. Drove off the Federal artillery from this hill, and now the Federal infantry is going as well. This is one of those battles where I'm tempted to continue it, because I think things are going relatively well in terms of casualties. We've lost some, but not, nothing horrific. So I'd be tempted to continue this fight as long as we can to try and drive them off and destroy as many of their troops as possible. And, the more troops we destroy now, the fewer that they have for future battles. Didn't use my cavalry very effectively. Oh, goodness. Two Yankee brigades are charging Stockton here. Fortunately, we have our artillery right there in range to be able to plaster them with some canister fire. Kind of an ineffectual Yankee attempt at a counterattack. Our own cavalry up here. Pursue and drive them off the map. That's the objective, boys. Alright, so we've really savaged them something special, I think. Okay. Cavalry. Alright, keep advancing. Keep the line moving forward. Gonna deal with that artillery. Cavalry sweeping down on that battery. And all up here in the north, Banning is engaged. We've got 2 brigades coming, one facing Banning frontally, the other's coming in from behind, or at least on his flank and rear. This brigade should be dead. Alright, guys, come on, catch up. Yankee Cav! Damn, the Yankee cavalry is back. Alright, well, if all they are is a couple of brigades, frankly, I'm not too worried. Alright, that artillery's gone. Move the cavalry north. Well, the supply wagon should go hunker in by our artillery. Keep pursuing these guys south. I think 3 brigades will be enough to do that, so we'll send the other brigades north to deal with the newly arrived Yankee cavalry. Okay. Actually, quite a few Federals down here. And now we're stuck in kind of open field fighting here down in the south. Let's move 1 more brigade down this way. These units are going to lose more than I wanted to lose. Really be focusing my fire on a single enemy unit. The north. We're okay. Banning should... I can't believe he's still fighting. He's not giving up yet. There you go. That volley doesn't finish him. Maybe this one will? If not that one, then maybe this one? Alright, there he goes. He's done. These brigades can move over here now and deal fully with the Federals. More Yankees running over here. And in the south, we're driving them. We're just losing a lot more men than I would like. Okay, we've got an hour left of this fight. I want you double quicking. I just want you... Well, I guess you can go charge that battery. And these skirmishers would be much easier to deal with if I had my cavalry down here. Let's do that. Meanwhile, the Yankees are being pinned into this corner and destroyed. Nowhere to run, my friends. Nowhere to run. Right, I think those blue coats that are running are part of a battery. No idea where these guys are running to. There's no objectives this way. Right, go deal with that artillery battery. Turn on Gilbert. Get a good volley in on him. Maybe you shoot before he does and they run away. Or not. Really want to destroy more of these brigades. Or wipe them out. I think the Yankees in the north are doomed. Doomed, I say. Yankees in the south. Maybe not. I mean, they're doomed. Matter of whether I can actually hunt their units down and effectively destroy them. Our cavalry's starting to become a little bit more useful here now that this fight's changed into more of a pursuit. Troops in the north are driving the Federals to the edge of the map. About 800 horsemen. Hopefully they have some good guns. Maybe they got, like, probably too early in the war for them to have Spencers, I would guess. But you never know. I'm gonna go capture this supply wagon or something. Keep on driving them. Ah, shoot. You're gonna open your flank. At least Gilbert's morale is so low they can't fire volleys. Melting away. Supplies are captured. Get out of there. Go ahead and charge this infantry now. Maybe we can get these guys caught in a bit of a crossfire between these two brigades and cavalry coming in on their flank. There you go, Gilbert. Getting Gilbert chewed up there now by our horsemen. Maybe Vaughn can finish that brigade. Alright, looks like one of the Federal cavalry brigades is gone. Maybe two. Oh, I didn't mean to. I would have rather captured that supply wagon. Nice. Gilbert surrendered. Very good. Supplies surrendered as well. And that should finish off these Yankees in the north. I think there's still some skirmishers around here somewhere. Crook's brigade should be just about done as well. Nice. Alright, so we captured one of the cavalry brigades. We captured 2 supply wagons. So we should get some exchanged POWs as well. It's turning into a good old-fashioned pursuit. I think there's only... Oh, there's one more brigade up here. Could try and make a rush for the objective. You guys are in tolerable condition. We'll rush some brigades back this way. toward the objective. There's some artillery they'll have to overcome as well. Yeah. See how quickly they can move. We got a brigade coming up as well, so if they do take it, we should be able to... There's generally an amount of time you can test the objective. Untest the objective. I think we'll be okay there. I don't think Atkins is 850 men, battered as they are, is going to be enough to do anything. See how many reinforcements we get. I lost a fair number of men. 700 in Stockton, 300, 300, 200, 224. Not really that much, I guess. A couple thousand. Certainly not as bad as the Federals. Destroyed an entire division of their cavalry. Maybe they're just trying to retreat off the map north. Ah, there's 2 more brigades. Reed is over here as well. Okay, Cook has some good ground there, but I'm hoping our cavalry charge breaks him. Got well more than almost 5 times his number here. Alright, he should be routing now, I think. There you go. Now he's routing. Routing, and with Cav on top of him, one can hope that we destroy him. Continue the fight. Well, no, let's finish. There's not enough men left to... Oh, well. I was going to say, there's one more brigade. I was going to try and see if I could trap Reed's brigade as they move north. Let's see if we can... Alright, there you go. We captured Crook. So Vaughn, I guess, ended up being worth something there. He caused the capture of over 800 enemy troops. Finally caught up to Atkins here. Assuming he is over here somewhere. You're going to charge. Going to close to melee with Morton. Swing our cavalry is tired and abused as they are north. These brigades will all head north. Atkins in here, and there's at least one more Federal brigade in here somewhere. So Atkins is routing and captured. Nice. So there's one more Federal unit somewhere on this map. And there they are. Reed's boys down here. Let's add them to Libby Prison, or later on to Andersonville. I don't know if, because of the way prisoner exchanges work, I don't know if the game lets those troops rejoin the Yankee manpower pool. I'd be interested to find out. Get in before they can volley you. Oh, melee. No, they got a point-blank volley in on you. I was hoping you'd rout them so they wouldn't get a shot off. In any event. That should be done. Just a matter of whether they surrender or whether we cause them to disperse. Feels very old guardy moment here. Alright, there we go. Captured them. So let's go ahead and finish. I don't know what else the Yankees still have on the map, but let's go ahead and finish. You can see victory for us. We lost 2,200 men, which was not bad at all. The enemy lost over 5,000 men. About 2,900 of their infantry escaped. They lost 1,000 cavalry as well. 2,200 missing, actually, so maybe they lost the entire force or very close to it. When we go to the goods, we can see here we rescued some of our own stuff, but we also captured 4 20-pound Parrott rifles, 8 10-pounders, some 1861 Springfields, captured some Harper's Ferries, which are nice because we use those a lot. Supplies, some Sharps, and some Smiths. So not a ton, but the artillery will be a nice little addition there, especially because we have got a 20-pound Parrott battery, but it's not fully built out. You You can see here we had 2,240 prisoners exchanged for 1,000 additional recruits. We got 3,800 recruits, so now we've got more than enough men to replace our losses and maybe also get our force up to full strength. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and replace the cavalry here in the 2nd Corps, which was the one unit that hadn't been fully replaced. Then our 3rd Corps here, a lot of these guys really didn't lose much. 130 men there, 120 men here, 220 men here, and again, we can just use rookie replacements because they didn't lose enough manpower. I mean, this isn't... They gained more experience than they're losing by the number of rookies that were instilling in their forces, at least in most of these brigades. Maybe the one that had 600 casualties, not so much, but 200 casualties in a battle like that, these guys are better off, even with rookie replacements, than they were at the start of the fight.
Yes, sir.
Right there, some reinforcements.
Yes, sir.
Built up. Meanwhile, we've got 4 additional 20-pound parrots we can add to this battery. I'm kind of tempted to not do that, given now that I know that... Well, I mean, I always kind of knew that a 12-gun battery is more efficient, so... Nonetheless, I guess we'll do it anyway. We'll make them vets, just so we keep the quality there. Alright, so the 3rd Corps is fully built back up. No officers wounded either, which is nice. The 2nd Corps is fully built up. I think all of the artillery is maxed out. We might have one unit that needs a few. Yeah, 15 men. And the 1st Corps, the only corps here that still needs replacements. So we'll go ahead and issue these guys. We'll get the artillery in there first. We've got 2,400 men. Not going to be enough to fully build everything back, but it'll be close. Some rookie replacements there now, so we don't lose that 2nd star. Go with some veterans. It'll cost us about $30,000. Enfield Brigade will eat up the bulk of the rest of these replacements. It's going to cost us a bit of money, but money we do have. We've got over 100,000 and plenty of guns. About 38,000 there. And we've got about 500 more troops we can use. Well, let's do this. Many of them as we can. You see, we are spending some money here. We don't have enough guns in our armory here for the weapons that are in these units. And I do have the ability to use some of my prestige to get some guns too. Or get some additional recruits, which we may do. But we'll probably wait till after the next fight to do that. You can see my reputation is at 95. So that's nearly maxed out. The max reputation is 100. We can spend up to 75 of that on things like more Enfields, more Richmonds. We can also spend it on additional 3,000 additional recruits, which we may do depending on how this battle goes. But I'd rather not use that reputation quite yet. We'll see how the next fight goes. There's one more battle before the Battle of Chancellorsville. Now, Chancellorsville, if we win, we get 25. So I'll want to spend some of that reputation because your reputation maxes out at 100. If I gain 25 reputation for winning at Chancellorsville and I was already at 100 or at 95, I could never go higher than 100. So I'd be wasting all that additional reputation if I don't spend some of it. Just a matter of whether I do it now or before the next battle, because the next battle of Rio Hill will give us 5 reputation and max us out at 100 if we win. So I think I'd rather fight that fight and then have 100 to work with to figure out what we want to do with it. If we need a few recruits to fill out this 1st Corps, we can. If we don't, if we have another victory like we did on this last fight, where we have far more manpower that comes in than goes out, then maybe we won't. And you can see here the enemy army has shrunk a little bit further as well. I think there were 121 to 124. They're now down to 116, 121. So they're still going to be over 100,000 no matter what happens in this next fight, I suspect. I don't think the enemy has 20,000 men in the next battle when it comes to the Battle of Chancellorsville. But nonetheless, we're reducing potentially the size of the enemy force we face. Also, we've got one other thing we need to do here. We've got one career point we need to use. I don't have any manpower, so really increasing the number of divisions in our army is kind of pointless, so I'll just increase the amount of ammunition that we start with up to 7 out of potential 10. And soon we'll have to start working on training or reconnaissance because everything else is, coming along nicely here. With that being said, guys, we won the battle. We've won yet another battle here. You can see we have never lost a battle. First Franklin, another victory. I don't know why Blackwater Heights comes after it. They definitely don't precede each other in terms of... First Franklin came later in terms of calendar dates. But anyway, First Franklin, another victory, 55, or over, I guess if you include the missing and captured, the Federals lost over 8,000 men. We lost just over 2,500. So a very effective fight there. Blackwater Heights wasn't quite as lopsided, actually very even, 4,600 to 3,500. But nonetheless, effective battles, growing our experience, improving the Third Corps' base of experience for their units. You can see their experience levels are up a bit for some of these brigades. And moving into the final battle, the Battle of Rio Hill, before the Battle of Chancellorsville. With that being said, the Battle of Rio Hill will be another fight for another time. This will conclude this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts as always. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching. And until next time, I'm out.